sister, baby Jesus.
Bringers of the dawn, allow these energies to merge, to merge, to merge. The light is awakened within them. Humanity creates the sacred bridge between earth and sky.
Che mi riporta un poco di te.
Get down. Come with me if you want to live.
What are you doing?
They were going to arrest you.
No.
And crucify you.
What's to happen?
What are you? A glutton for punishment?
Ci sei più tu che vuole questa musica stasera.
And you cannot go around killing people.
Che mi riporta un poco del
Because it is one of God's commandments, thou shalt not kill.
Why?
Because it is a sin.
Why?
Because it's not nice.
Why?
Forgive him, Father. He's a robot from the future.
Namaste, like kids, my family. Listen, I got more trailers coming. We're having a lot of fun. I'm here with my brother, Mr. William Oboyle. Hey, what's up, brother?
What's up, Rion? How you doing, big dog?
Dude, hey, it's time for me to introduce one of my secret weapons out of Texas that,
Yeah.
I mean, listen, the Light Warriors, on this squad, they be working on them gains. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
That's right. So, no, William's going to be there on stage with my brother, Chief Russell Gould. He's going to be on stage with him, and they're going to do a bunch of questions and a very nice talk on Sunday. And then they're also going to have a private group meeting in one of the suites that we have available at the Hyatt Regency. But I just wanted to introduce the world to my brother, William. I know you're blowing up, dude. Meadow Leaf is huge. I've seen those big. You did a really big interview. What was the name of that gentleman that just recently interviewed you?
Yeah, it was Brad Lee from Dropping Bombs.
Oh, yeah, Bradley. Yeah, so I saw you on there, and I was like, bro, that's what's up, dude.
Yeah,
so
bro.
we're just getting the family back together, ladies and gentlemen, and we're taking over like state by state. You know what I mean? That's what we're doing here. We're doing big things at the Bridge Expo. But this whole event is really turning into something special. I had a very awesome talk with David Palmer yesterday. He may be bringing all of his gear. We don't know. We're hoping, Dave, if you're watching this, we love you.
He's bringing it all.
He's bringing it all. Whatever you decide, I support you. But more lasers and speakers. Oh my God! If he brings what he has on top of what I got, we're gonna rock.
Volkswagen van. I don't know.
I know he's got a Raptor. He's like, I'm driving it out in my Raptor. I was like, oh, well, we can jump. We have a caravan. We got a caravan leaving Sedona on Wednesday, and it's about a 2-day drive for us. It's a 1 day if you really want to go straight through, but we're going to get a hotel and whatnot. But I'm really excited about what's to come. I'm really excited to have our brother, do a little interview when he's done with his, I know he's got back from Australia. He's taking a month off, but early October, we're going to do an interview with him. But with some of the new technologies, we have a new, at the Bridge, we have a health and wellness hall that we have created with a bunch of different doctors, new healing modalities. And my brother, William, is going to have his products in the health and wellness hall. And I'm really excited for that as well. So, William, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself? And also, I know it's a long story. You did a great job on the last interview you did. A little bit about that. And then also some of the new technology and, techniques that you have found that really helped you, and what has really solidified and assisted you in waking up and obviously moving at this new speed that we're all kind of marching towards in this golden age.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The one thing that comes to mind that I was thinking about last night, Rion, and everybody listening, was how cool it is to be a part of TeamLight, coming in as a guest, meeting Rion, meeting the team. It was actually in Texas, and it was in Rion. What was the outside one that we did? It was in Spicewood, I think.
We did 2 in Texas with the X when the solar eclipse made the X in Texas. I believe the second one was Bastrop. We were at the Bastrop Convention Center.
The first one, though.
The first one, we rented out a ranch, and we had a very personal vibe with like 200-300 people. That was really fun.
Yeah. So I started with TeamLight at that one, and I met Rion, I met everybody, the whole team there, and me and my old lady, my wife Amber, we were there, and we met some really cool people. I thought what was really cool about it, there were some postmasters there too. For those of you that don't know what a postmaster is, it's a person inside of the Title IV system, which is Russell's system that he created. So right away, I thought to myself, because I was a postmaster at the time and there were some postmasters there. So right away, I thought, why aren't these two energetic systems working together to harmonize and introduce Russell's system to Rion's system? Anyway, that's how I got involved with TeamLight. And fast forward to Bastrop and all the other events that I went to, all the other postmasters were there. We were gaining people too. There was more postmasters coming, more people.
Yep.
Yeah, we were gaining momentum. And, again, I thought to myself, we've got to get these two venues together. And lo and behold, this time we finally did it. Russell had some free time, and nothing short of just a one of one. Russell is one of one, and he's a real person. He's super kind.
Yes.
And I'm just looking forward to bringing the energies together. As far as me, that's how I got into meeting Rion. Rion's you're a really good friend of mine.
Yes.
We've been on the low for a long time.
Yes.
And if I could take a guess, I would mainly say because I was in a system. I own a company that works with cannabinoids. Okay. And Russell, myself, and Rion we're sober. We've been sober for a really long time. And this is a controversial issue. People aren't aware of what cannabinoids actually can do for you. So I will rewind a little bit, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself and how I discovered cannabinoids.
Yeah.
I played football for a very long time. I had a normal childhood, played football for a very long time. And my junior year in high school, I had my first injury. My first injury was a shoulder separation, actually a dislocation. The separation came later on in life. But the shoulder dislocation happened twice my junior year, and I had to get surgery in order to keep on playing football, the love of my life at the time. I got the surgery. And at that time when I got the surgery, I was prescribed painkillers, low-level and high-level painkillers as a 15-year-old. I was on painkillers. So I was able to get them off of that very first time that I took them, but I did notice some withdrawal effects. So, and they're very hard to get off of. It doesn't matter if you're taking them for, 2 weeks or 4 weeks. They're just very hard to get off of. You have withdrawal symptoms. Everybody kind of knows because of the opioid epidemic that's happening. So we fast forward to my senior year. I had another shoulder injury the last game. I had a shoulder separation at the time, the very last game that we played. And I had to get another surgery and more painkillers. Now that was the turning point for me, because this rehab was a lot longer, and I didn't know about how to manage pain at the time without painkillers, which, by the way, is cannabinoids, which I'll get into here shortly. So again, went through that, but I did get a scholarship to college to play football, and I also did go and play, obviously. And kind of just at that time, I kind of just kept on taking them because I had 2 injuries plus the injuries that went undiagnosed, which anybody that's played any sports, it doesn't matter if it's wrestling, football, soccer, cheerleading, doesn't matter. You're going to get injuries. And because of the way that sports are designed, you're going to tend to not talk about a lot of the injuries that aren't detrimental and kind of just walk it off, as they say. So I went through college and did okay. I didn't have injuries in college, but I did have a lot of painkillers. I had to continue taking painkillers. So sophomore year, I was a captain of my football team on that one. And then that third year of my college, I just completely fell off. I lost my motor skills because I kept on taking them. I pretty much lost being an athlete. So that fast forwards me all the way through 10 years of addiction. Mm-hmm. So I fast forward. You were talking a little bit about where
me and you are very similar when it comes to the opioids. And just for everyone on the planet, if you got kids or if you have kids in sports, to pay attention, there's only 2 drugs on the planet that you can OD from when you kick them. One is heroin or opiates. The other is alcohol. So when we're saying it's hard to get off this stuff, I mean, you are shaking like a fish for days. It is one of the most detrimental things. And for anyone who's never been on those drugs, please be very careful. When I went through mine, when you're kicking that stuff, you don't have to, you can slowly, wean yourself off, say Vicodin or Oxycontin or some of these things. If you've had a real injury, mind you, or if you're in cancer patients, they also give you this. Right. There's other options out there. And so please take a look at those before. Opiates should be the last choice that you guys take, just for everyone out there listening to us. If you have an injury, that is the last thing you want to do. And for all you guys that have been through the drug run and being addicted to things, and you guys well know, give me a thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. The issue is that those 2 particular drugs, it's just alcohol and opiates, it's the hardest kick to get it out of your body. And I don't want to go into all the negative things, but all that stuff from everyone coming back from Vietnam, they had those opioid clinics. What are they called, William? What is it?
Methadone.
Yeah, they had methadone clinics for all the people that came back from Vietnam because there was an epidemic. And the half-life on methadone is, I think, 4 times as long. Half-life meaning how long it's in your system compared to even doing the opiates itself. So it's an epidemic. That family that knew it was an epidemic, the billionaire couple that is being sued for billions of dollars right now, mind you. Yeah. What's their name?
The Sacklers.
Saxa Shiza.
Yeah.
Those jackasses knew. So I'm just trying to be clear. If you guys have never heard this before, or if you guys get prescribed this stuff, be very, very careful with any opiates. That's all we wanted to say. Continue, my brother. Yep.
So the opiates are, there's other ways to do it, right? But I didn't really know that. And as Rion was saying, what's happening when you take opiates and you get off of them, you're not, and say, your withdrawal symptoms, on an opiate, a Percocet, a Vicodin, even a low dose of, I'll just call it H. That's probably the best thing to call it. That withdrawal can last 2 to 3 weeks. Okay. Just to kind of give you an idea what methadone does. When you're trying to get off it, they'll give you the option to get on methadone or Suboxone. These half-lives if you're on this stuff, especially methadone, it will get into your bones. The half-life, if you're taking, say, 120 milligrams of methadone per day, the half-life could be up to 6 months. You could be in withdrawal for up to 6 months. So, and just so we're clear on what withdrawal is with opiates, it's the worst flu you've had times 10 for 6 months. Not to mention the psychological, my cat's trying to get over here, one second. Not to mention the psychological effects of it. So I had an awakening. I had an overdose 3 years out of college, an accidental overdose from methadone and Oxycontin at the same time. I took those two at the same time. They told me that it would block the sensation for you wanting to do an opiate, because methadone is something else. I don't know exactly what it's called, like is it opiate blocker or something, but really what it does, it said you won't have the craving for it, but really what they meant is it'll block the feeling of it. So when I took the methadone, I still had the cravings. I'm like, stuff is nonsense. So I took some Oxy, and my mom found me the next morning, maybe a breath a minute, maybe less. First overdose. That was it right there. We'll just fast forward a little bit here. Did a little bit of prison time for this stuff.
Right.
And then I went and I finally went to my rehab. That was 11 years ago. I'm 11 years sober. And I had a meditation, and the meditation in this special place in Tennessee, it's called Mirror Lake. And this meditation took me through a regression. And it took me to a forest, and it told me to gather the things that I had lost. So I had paid attention. I'm still detoxing. I'm sweating. I'm cold, I'm hot. I can't hold my bowels. And I gathered everything. And that's where my spiritual awakening was, Rion, just so, we can hit that topic.
Yes.
And, it was right there. And then I started figuring out, that this was something that I wasn't ever going to do again. But now I have to take care of these psychological effects of what football did to me, which is, if you're familiar with CTE, it's a syndrome that you get when you get hit in the head too many times. I had that. I don't know if I have it anymore because of cannabinoids, which is hemp, which we'll talk about in a second. And I was dealing with this CTE for 5 years. And what was happening, 5 years of sobriety. And what was happening was normal conversation, stressful point in conversation, off the rails. That's what happens when you have CTE. There's zero coping skills. You don't know how to handle anything. Plus, I had 10 years of opiate abuse. So I started doing some research at the time, and hemp had just gotten put into the agricultural farm bill. That's what this is. Cannabinoids is cannabis is hemp. So I started looking at this. I started looking at symptoms for CTE, anxiety, restless. I was still getting all these things from being in addiction for so long. And I found this cannabinoid that is made out of the hemp plant. It's called CBG. So I took one gummy of CBG, and that was it. I started learning how to make the gummies, and I said to myself right away, there's absolutely no way that the world could not benefit from this. There's hundreds of different types of cannabinoids, and everybody can benefit from this. Doesn't matter if it's anxiety, inflammation, sleepless, you're going through menopause and you have the sweats. It does not matter. The body has an endocannabinoid system, okay? Endocannabinoid system is completely empty unless you take cannabinoids. There's a CB1 and a CB2 receptor. Those receptor sites fill it to all your organs and your whole central nervous system. So if you're off in any way, cannabinoids could be the answer for you. Meaning, if you take a full spectrum gummy or an elderberry gummy that has 8 or 9 different cannabinoids, it could blanket many of your symptoms, whether it be anxiety, sleeplessness, maybe you have energy problems, something like that. It will give you a restful night's sleep. It will give you more energy. Like I said, there's hundreds of different cannabinoids. We use about 20 of them, everything from CBN that helps you sleep to CBG that can help you with focus and energy to just a straight up CBD, which is great for to open your lungs up and help you with workouts and help you with steady energy, unlike coffee, which kind of gives you the jitters.
I want to jump in here right now too. For a lot of very high powered empath, okay, we've been self medicating with regular let's just say marijuana, or back in the day. I know when I was younger, I was self medicating because what it really is, and a lot of these kids with this ADD, which is undiagnosed, really what it is, you're a hyperdimensional being that's fully conscious and empathic, and you were thrown into a Sim City world where everything is moving in slow motion, and you wonder why the kid sitting in class can't pay attention to someone moving at 2 miles an hour. Number one. Number two, you also have to talk about the vaccinations and the things they give kids now. When we were young kids, I think there was maybe 16 shots we got as kids, right? Now it's like 76. So what we're trying to say is very cool, calm, and casually. There's an ordinance to this thing in which balancing yourself in whatever manner that is, in the healthiest manner, is what we're truly speaking about. Secondly, when I've been sober since 2006, right? Cold turkey, all this stuff, been sober since '06. But what I can say is that the main reason I was on an opiate thing was because I could not control my thoughts, really my dreams. So what happens is the first time in my life, I would take something and I could force myself to go to bed. I could force myself to sleep. And a lot of us who have these really talented kids and are these gifts ourselves, you would be surprised how many hyper intelligent, hyperkinetic, empathic beings who incarnated on this planet, right, that basically feel everything. I was on those types of opiates, right? I was basically lied to be completely clear. Someone told me it was hash, and a year later, it's not. It's opium, right?
What a
What
shame.
I'm trying to say, yeah, I got set up, but it's fine. It's all works out. But what I'm trying to say, what did I notice? I took this substance because it was the only type of control I could have over when I went to bed. I had more energy in my body than a normal human being. No one told me that. No one told me that I would have to go to the gym for the rest of my life. And I've talked to you guys about this in past videos. No one told me who and what the symptoms are being a high frequency being on earth. There was not a manual for this. Yeah. And I feel a lot of us numb ourselves to exist in the third density. Hence, that could be you're trying to get over being an alcoholic. Okay. You're trying to get over being on a sedative. There's tons of people on pharmaceuticals. 80% of the pharmaceutical industry is in the United States. These people are making billions and trillions of dollars off of us, trying to have you take something, right? How many people are on Xanax? How many people are functioning people that have boardroom meetings, drinking a bottle of red wine a night and popping a Xanax and saying, I'm healthy? You're not.
Yeah.
These coping mechanisms are what we're doing. So just to maybe some guys that people have never heard this before, dumbing ourselves down or numbing ourselves is where many of us found ourselves in some of these substances that we were taking. Okay. So I think, as you know, my brother William's explaining right now, he found an alternative in your transition from going, say, from a hard drug or alcohol or whatever they may be for you. There is a steady medium to transfer from this, which we damn well know, all these hard drugs and alcohol is not good for you. It's not. It's a slow death. Alcohol and alcoholisms, just to be clear with you guys, it is a slow death. It is. It's a slow death that everyone has to figure out. If you want to be here on this planet, if you're happy with your life, is this the life you want to live? Is it the way you wish to exist? That alcohol, which is actually the name of a demon, okay, has been known for eons of time. So what I'm trying to say for you guys figuring this out, and why this is so important that William has figured this out for himself, he found an alternative that can get you out of the trenches. And I think that's what's really important here. You found a way to do it, right, that doesn't have all the side effects, where someone can move from one polarity, let's just say, or brainwave, or let's just say in your health, to a higher plane. And this, what have you found that helps? Cannabinoids?
Yeah.
And also, some of the things to work on.
Yeah. So the interesting part about what you just said is that's exactly what happened to me, Rion. I just, we're grazing over stuff, but I can remember from a very young age just testing out really, really well before school, and then getting into school and just thinking to myself, what are they doing here? Like they're teaching everybody one way, and they're expecting everybody to receive the information that way. And what that is that's the 3D plane. So I've never done well on the 3D plane. And the 3D plane, if anybody knows, has done any research on how the 3D plane exists, it's called, it's through a frequency. It's called the Loosh frequency, Loosh. That Loosh frequency is, for people that don't know what Loosh is, it's fear, it's disease, it's anxiety, it's pain. That Loosh frequency keeps you in the third dimension. And what it does is it actually keeps the 3D plane together. That's why they continuously scare us, make us sick, make our kids sick. It doesn't matter. Just go and hang out in the 3D frequency for a little bit. And the paperwork inside of the 3D system is all Loosh frequency as well. It's all subjective interpretation, which is another reason why Russell exists today, because he figured that out. But if you find yourself fearful all the time, not able to sleep, scared, maybe you have some health problems, the first thing to do is reset your central nervous system. You have to reset your central nervous system. You have to turn off the news, because there's nothing good on there. There's wars, there's disease, and every once in a while they show you a puppy eating a dog treat, which is really messed up because it makes it think everything's okay. And then they go right back to disease and the wars. So the Loosh frequency feeds off of fear, which creates the matrix that the planet is under. Now, the cannabinoids have an every human on the planet has an endocannabinoid system. Okay. So if your endocannabinoid system is empty, you are quick to turn to fear, to turn to everything else that runs that Loosh frequency. When your cannabinoid system has cannabinoids, and I'm not talking about THC, because that's not what we're here to talk about today. I'm here talking about cannabinoids within the hemp plant. For those that don't know what the hemp plant is, it has less than 0.03 delta 9 THC. So it does not have THC, but what does it have? It has CBN, CBG, CBDA, CBN, and many more. Each one of those cannabinoids reacts with your endocannabinoid system, your CB1 and your CB2 receptors, which filter out to the rest of your body, which is your organs, your central nervous system. Now, if we can reset our central nervous system, and we collectively, as a unit, as a 5D unit, even if you're in 3D, you're looking to get to lower or higher 4D to 5D. If we can stop ourselves from being fearful, okay? I know it's very hard because they tout fear, but if we can get ourselves out of the Loosh frequency and stop being fearful, the matrix of the 3D will fall apart. Yep. Because it doesn't have anything to feed.
Yep. 100%, dude. That's what's up. And here, I'm taking the glasses off. Listen, for everyone out there.
Hold on.
Okay, you go. Okay, listen. We're fucking taking over. I don't think you understand. We figured this shit out. Our families figured this shit out. Russell Gould has figured shit out. Our family, all this stuff is coming to fruition for what we're doing. We do have answers and solutions for our families, and just listen to our own individual experiences. And if they resonate with you or your friends and family, there is a way out of this maze. There is a way out of Hades. There is a way out. For me personally, I know, William, you do this too. I guarantee you William's working out every other day. Okay. I'm sure he's steaming. I'm sure he's doing his cardio. I'm sure he's doing all the things. So what I'm trying to say is, ladies and gentlemen, you kind of fight fire with fire. If you're addicted right now and you're listening to me in some downtown Detroit high rise, or New York, or in Canada, and you're like, I can't get off this shit, what do I do? Listen to my brother, take a look at what he has, potentially try it if you think that's going to help you. What we're trying to say is these are transitionary things from going from point A to point B. Obviously, we know the higher the frequency that you generate in that suit soon, once you get all the detoxing and stuff out, you're not going to need anything. But what I'm trying to say is 60 or 70% of the planet, especially the United States, is on something. What we're trying to say is we're trying to get you out of that hole that me and my brother crawled out of. And I can tell you, give me a thumbs up out there. How many of you guys out there are lucky to be alive right now? it's a gift that I'm even here talking to you. And I know my brother William, how many near-death life experiences, how many gnarly things have we lived through as a collective? Just to be here right now to go, hey, we're here. You guys hold tight. You can overcome this shit. So I'm just trying to say we're doing this as a family, 100%, keeping it 100% real, no bullshit. We want to get you clean. We want to get you detoxed. We want to get your frequency up. And we want you to join us in the higher frequencies and vibrations on this planet, period. Drop the mic. The most powerful, empathic, beautiful, sentient beings on the planet, you'd be surprised. Those are the ones, unfortunately, that actually choose to go numb. You know, it's not the dumb unconscious people that are on drugs you see sometimes. Rather, it's those that are too sensitive for their environment. They're taking something to numb themselves to fit in down here. And a lot of people exit because they don't like this place. And I totally get that. Okay. But there is a way out. So with that, my brother, how can they find you? And then we're going to switch gears, obviously. And I want you to talk a little bit more about that and some of the things. Okay, for example, let's just go into, because I'm going to do the questions they're going to ask. Okay, you're coming off alcohol. What CBD or when would you choose for that?
Yeah, so if you're coming off alcohol and you're having, first off, you could die from alcohol.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are cannabinoids out there that can help you with the tremors. It's you have to take some Delta-9. You have to mix Delta-9 in there because of the shaking. Now the seizures, you can take a full spectrum CBD oil. If you could just look this up on Google. Full spectrum CBD oil for seizures, full spectrum CBD oil for Parkinson's, all that stuff. It will help you. The one thing,
someone in the comments, one of my moderators, please type this in the comments so it goes across 8 platforms simultaneously. If you're coming off alcohol, please type what he's saying in the comments. Go ahead.
You're gonna need a little bit of THC because alcohol, quite frankly, shouldn't be legal. Anything that can make you die when you come off it, like H or F, we'll just say fentanyl. Why is it legal? Why is it legal? Because of alcohol, the demon, okay? Or the 3D matrix, they host that, okay? So you can do a full spectrum oil. I recommend a little bit of THC, not much, 3 to 4 milligrams. That'll get rid of your tremors and all that stuff. Now, if you're a more experienced user and maybe you're doing a little bit of THC here and there.
William, one more time. People are asking, can you please repeat? Someone is coming off alcohol. What cannabinoids do they take?
On our website, I would take the Delta-9 oil. Okay?
Delta-9 oil.
Yeah, the Delta-9 oil. It has a very small amount, 2 to 3 milligrams of THC in it, but it also has other cannabinoids in it. I would recommend that. I would also recommend a full spectrum as well. If you're already in the cannabinoids, I'd go right over to the flower. If you don't smoke it, you can put it in tea. That's what I do. So what you do is you take it and you put it in one of those things that close in the tea, make it very hot, and you'll get all the cannabinoids there and you'll get the same effects as with you smoke it. Okay.
Okay. We got alcohol. Okay. Heroin. What do you take?
You got to take high doses of CBG, high doses of CBG. And then there's this other stuff called RSO oil. We call it full spectrum oil. It's 2,500 milligrams. Take that. And if you are a high dose user, get the flower. I don't care if you smoke it, but I use it for tea. I put it in tea. That right there will change your life. I'm going to tell you a quick story. Okay.
Okay.
I was detoxing one time and I stayed away from cannabinoids. Okay. I was detoxing back in the day. The other plant, which is the marijuana plant, I smoked a little bit of that. And all of a sudden, all of my stuff went away. So I'll fast forward here a little bit. Cannabinoids that are in the marijuana plant are in the hemp plant. There's just not enough THC in it. So what people will tend to do is concentrate it when they're coming off of stuff. You need harder stuff when you're coming off harder stuff. There's no doubt about it. Okay. So a little bit of THC oil and then a full spectrum gummy, elderberry gummy, which we have. Okay, elderberry full spectrum gummy and or CBG full spectrum gummy. We have both of those. Okay. Again, if you are coming off of hard stuff, you're going to need harder stuff to balance your body out. Okay. Right. So what I would recommend, I'll be quick. What I would recommend is some flour, some CBG full spectrum gummies. Okay. Do that for 2 weeks and then scale back. Okay. Because your body's going to be okay after that. It takes about 2 weeks. Scale back to just a full spectrum gummy. Okay. Because what we don't want to do is replace things. Okay. We don't want to do is it's going to get you clean. I can guarantee it. I did it. I've done it. I'm 11 years sober. But if you keep on doing it, you could have switched or replaced it. Now, is it a terrible thing to replace it with? No. But I don't want people to do things that keep them.
No, hey, I totally understand. Our goal is to get you from point A to point B. And we're somewhere in the middle trying to get you off certain things and get you back on your track. So, William, what's your website? I'm going to put it right in the, is it metaleaf.com?
Metaleaf.com.
MEDALEAF.com.
Got Jan right there. Hi, Jan. Is that
Boom,
Jan?
metaleaf.com. That is William's company. Okay, we did alcohol. We did heroin. Okay, let's give me another banger. Meth, cocaine.
Yeah, that's meth. I'm gonna have to ask my
No problem. These are questions I want to know. So I don't want people when they're
Yeah.
talking to their friends and they're sending this video to them.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, they're breaking it down what you can take to get off this stuff.
Yeah.
So cocaine and meth, I know that goes through your system very quickly. That may be more like a symptom thing. Let's talk about pharmaceuticals. Let's talk about Xanax.
Yeah, so I'll scale back to meth and cocaine. That stuff goes through your system quick and it leaves a lasting imprint. Again, your central nervous system is all messed up from it. Okay. The best thing that I can tell anybody that's coming off of those two is just get a full spectrum gummy. Okay. Get a full spectrum gummy because it's like a multivitamin for your endocannabinoid system. Okay. If you want something a little bit harder, you can go with the 9 oil or the flower. Okay. Those two are good. Now you're going to Xanax. Okay. Now Xanax is a barbiturate. It is the same thing as alcohol. Okay. The withdrawal symptoms are the same. Okay. So one, make sure that you're not going to have a seizure and pass away. Okay. Get to the hospital. You're drinking a liter of vodka a day. Okay. But the second thing is barbiturates, which is alcohol. You want to take a full spectrum product or you want to take a Delta 9 with CBG product. Okay. One of those two. If you're a little bit more severe, just take your Delta 9 with your CBG gummy. That'll do just fine. If you're drinking and you just want to stop, you can take a full spectrum gummy. It'll take the edge off. No problem whatsoever. I recommend the smaller, if you're not a cannabinoid user, take lower dosage cannabinoids like full spectrum, isolate, CBG. If you're a cannabinoid user, I recommend taking the THC with the CBG and the CBN and stuff like that, a full array cannabinoid system. Really what we're trying to do, not trying to do, what we are doing is we're resetting your central nervous system by calming you down. Okay. That's what this is all about.
Right.
Seizures for barbiturates is always a full spectrum oil because it stops seizures. Okay. You can do that in an elderberry gummy or you can do that in a full spectrum tincture.
Got it. All right. Well, if you guys in the comments have any other, I mean, I don't know about this. I think fentanyl, if you get on, you might try it once and die. So it's probably not try it. Hey, listen, I don't know if all you guys out there don't do any drugs right now, because if it's laced with fentanyl, that might be the last time you ever do anything. And you got to be careful with that. And they're cleaning that up in the States. Thank God.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people don't, who don't have kids in high school or whatnot. I was in last year at Conscious Life LA. I stayed the first 2 nights before I went to the expo in Laguna at my friend's house. And one of his daughters is in high school. And he was talking to me about this fentanyl thing like it was really real for him. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, 13 seniors have died in her high school, and the high school is trying to cover it up. That's how many people are dying, how many kids are dying. 13, can you imagine going to your graduation and 13 of those kids tried something one time and OD'd on the spot?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to say is they're trying to cover up how much damage this shit has done, ladies and gentlemen. It's a lot more than you could ever imagine. 13 kids out of a graduation class out of Laguna High School in California, dead.
That's crazy.
So how many other high school seniors and other places across the country have gone through something similar to this? So I'm just trying to say it out there. The more aware we are as a unit of how to get our friends and family off this shit and back into the prosperity of feeling their own frequency again and back on their own 2 feet. That's the goal of what we're trying to do. And since we're a little older, it hasn't really affected us. We haven't been in high school in 20 plus years, right? What I'm trying to tell you, when he started telling me those numbers, I was like, you got to be kidding me. He's like 13 seniors, 2 sophomores. I mean, talking about 20 kids in the graduating class dead in Laguna. So, and that's a very affluent neighborhood, mind you, ladies and gentlemen. That is a very high-end neighborhood, Newport and Laguna on the water, dead. Yeah, so I just want to be clear with you guys. It's not about how much money you have. It's just about we got to get this shit out of our kids' hands. So I just want to be real with that. So let's switch gears now, my brother. You're going to have a booth there. You're going to be there. Let's talk about people are asking you to do a workshop. You want to do a workshop there?
Yeah, I could do a workshop. Why not?
Okay. So I know that we're going to put you in the there's 3 areas, just so you guys know. And we'll put the thumbnail up of the entire layout of the Bridge Expo. There's a huge stage. Mind you, we have the upgraded space. There's 3 designated areas, A, B, and C. Each of these locations have 12 tables. A is going to be for TeamLight. The Bill Homan and the skull and the ancient artifacts are going to be in A. B is going to be run by Sarah, and she's going to be doing all the health and wellness stuff. We have Dr. Schwartz. We have 4 or 5 other things that are on the website now who are going to be coming. And then in area C, we're going to have a media room where David Palmer live stream, Dr. Lee, Jean-Charles Moyen, Masadi, and everyone else is going to be in this media area. So my brother William, wherever you want to go, that's where you're going to go, either health and wellness or in the media. But I do feel a lot of people coming. The whole point is to meet us, and you guys learn yourselves from us directly, and then you can help and teach and, help your friends and family. That's the whole point of this thing, is to get us together so we can actually assist in, pushing back against this nothingness, like the never ending story. We're pushing back in a big way, dude. There are answers to get our friends and family off drugs. Okay. Yeah. There really are. We just need to get hip to this shit and work towards getting our friends and family sober. So go ahead, brother.
I'm a firm believer in thinking to myself, why has hemp been illegal for so long? And then I start thinking about what it does and what it does for me. I do get in a fearful situation every now and again. Okay. Because I'm 41 years old and I've been living in a 3D loose frequency for a long time. So when you start thinking about it, if these cannabinoids can reset your central nervous system, feed your endocannabinoid system, and prevent and assist with many diseases, is that the real reason that this plant hasn't been around and it's been legal for so long? Yeah, absolutely. We can absolutely make rope with it. We can make houses with it. You can make shirts with it. You can make any kind of clothing with it. Henry Ford made a car frame with it back in the early 1920s. So yeah, that's fine. But let's talk about the frequency that keeps the 3D alive, which is loosh. And a endocannabinoid system that everybody has that is currently empty. I'd say probably 95% of America has an empty endocannabinoid system. And then we reset the central nervous system. Now all of a sudden there's less fear. What I'm telling you is I'm a blueprint for what I've done. I don't necessarily belong to the 3D system anymore. Okay. I've been a postmaster for a long time. There's a lot of things that I've done in my paperwork world and energetically to get myself out of the loose frequency. Getting out of the loose frequency isn't just taking cannabinoids and stuff like that. It's also making sure your paperwork is straight. I believe Russell's going to talk about that. That is not, just to be clear, that is not a 5D, that is not a 3D frequency type of paperwork that Russell's running. Okay. He's running a 5D, probably higher. I think you can go as high as you want, as a matter of fact. Some of the stuff that I've learned and heard are unbelievable to a normal 3D person. So that's a big reason why I have to stay around Russell, why I have to stay around Rion, why I have to stay around my mom, which has been in metaphysics, a Reiki teacher. She's a holistic minister. She's a Symbolic certified. That's why I stay around people that are as close as you can get to 5D and up. Because if you start hanging out with your 3D and you're in 5D and you hang out with them for too long, we are who we hang around, right? Guess what? You're fearful. And if you're fearful, you're feeding what? Your loose frequency. So these things are super important all the way around. This is a serious thing we're talking about.
No, yeah, we're talking about taking back our sovereignty. We're talking about taking back our freedoms. We're talking about, the original awesome rock stars that created the Constitution of the United States, their original words and what they really mean, that no one should be above any citizen, that we're all seen as kings and queens of our land and our property. This is something that of us taking back our power across this planet. And my brother, William, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on this ride. And not only that, it's like, you guys come meet the all-stars in the A-team. Like all my friends, I'm just so proud of all you guys in the comments. Tone's here. Everyone's here. Lisa, I'm so proud of you guys because honestly, this whole thing, and Russell, it's a round table. And I want to really, specify this for everyone out there. You don't have to be the best at everything in this world. All you have to do is follow your passions, use your experiences, figure out what worked for you, and share it with your brothers and sisters and become the best at your niche, right? Everyone has their own specialty, okay? When everyone studies what brings them passion in life and we all come together, now you have an unstoppable force. I want to remind you, from here to South Africa, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, everyone out there that's listening to my voice right now and will on these reruns, is to remember that we are stronger together. And some of the most gifted people, ladies and gentlemen, have some of these issues and addictions because we've been fighting against this matrix for so long that we've had to go numb to it. It's time to get some of these all-stars back up on their feet. And my brother, William, it's an absolute pleasure having you, bro. Metaleaf.com, right? For all you Williams products, check that out. Please listen on the replay as we break down how to get off some of these addictions that are out there. But the Bridge Expo really is going to be the culmination of a bunch of great minds and spirits coming together. And I'm very excited to have you there. And it's a privilege to know you, brother. And thank you so much, right, for being a part of this. So with that, go ahead.
I'm seeing some questions. I'm just going to cover very quick. Okay. Anxiety for at night, full spectrum elderberry gummy or full spectrum tincture. In the morning, if you're waking up with anxiety, which is possible, unplug your Wi-Fi, by the way. Don't sleep with your Wi-Fi on. It messes with your blood-brain barrier. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you can take an isolate gummy. Okay, we have some awesome isolate gummies. What it does is it stops your brain from thinking so much and just allows you to process things. When you're scrolling through your phone and then you go into the real world, that's anxiety, because the real world does not move as fast as what's going on your phone, which creates anxiety. Okay. So you could take a full spectrum isolate in the morning, a gummy or a tincture. That will not only get you ready for your workouts, for your day, it'll give you energy, but it's not going to give you a crash. I always say you're not going to feel it. It's going to be an experience because it opens up. It allows you to breathe more. If you can breathe more, it takes away the anxiety. Okay. If you're looking for something like where you have CTE or you have problems with like depression or something like that, I would take the CBG with the full spectrum gummy. That's a really
what is CTE for those that don't know what that is?
Everybody always asks me, and it's such a massive word that I always. But what it is that you get hit in the head too many times, and it causes you not to think. If you're thinking and you're freaking out up here, or you're okay. CTE does not give you the ability.
So everyone that's ever played football in life that's had concussions. Boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, MMA, football, any contact sport where you could have had head trauma, which in football is very, very common. Almost all of us had concussions. Yep.
Absolutely. Got it. As many as possible.
Run at full speed, run through the target. That's how we were taught.
And if you're just looking for an everyday wellness product, and you're not sure where you fit in the cannabinoid world, just get a full spectrum product. Okay. You're gonna notice benefits quick. You're gonna notice benefits within a week. When I went on the Brad Leah show, we had several hundred orders. And out of those several hundred orders, almost 50% of them reordered like a week later. So what I've experienced, it turns out that everybody else is experiencing it too. And why is that? Because everybody has an endocannabinoid system. So just start with the base of a full spectrum product, a full spectrum elderberry gummy or a full spectrum tincture. You will feel a difference.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And, the hemp stuff, I'll say this really quickly for all you guys that are doing your humanitarian projects. Yes, we have 2 locations in mind right now. We're working with the group, and specifically in locking in one of those places. I've been looking at land in Tennessee for a large hemp farm. I think hemp is not only going to be used for the 3D printing in concrete, but hempcrete, which goes in between the walls for insulation and everything else, where the piping and insulation goes and the electricity and all that stuff in between the walls. Hempcrete, absolutely. If we use hemp to create clothing, hemp clothing lasts 1,000 times longer than organic cotton. If you guys didn't know that, it's crazy. You get a hemp t-shirt, it'll last you 10 years.
You're probably going to have to throw it away or use it to clean up the countertop.
Yeah. Hemp and bamboo. Yes, absolutely. So this whole things that we're working into our humanitarian things. And for all you guys that are part of the RV, I know in my group, you definitely are, and you guys have humanitarian groups, just remember that hemp is going to be something we can grow on property and process ourselves. And there's 1,000 different things you can do with it. Even motor oil. If you guys know this about hemp, the hotter hemp oil gets, the more lubricated it gets. There's all kinds of things they've hidden from us with the powers of hemp and the true things you can do with that amazing plant. So just throwing that out there. It's a multi-purpose. Yep. And it grows very fast. It grows like bamboo.
So it grows like a weed.
It grows like a weed. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know, William, are you ready to go? Hey, we're like less than a month out. I mean, I hope you guys are ready to go. Use the coupon code, you guys. It's at the top of the screen, Bridge, BRIDGE. That's 55% off of your ticket. If you guys would like to bring a friend, I'm saying this one more time, we're getting hundreds of emails. Listen, buy a ticket, general admission, use coupon code BRIDGE. You get 55 off the ticket. Once you have your ticket, you can email support@teamlight.com. We generate a very specific coupon code for you for $100 off for bring a friend. Okay. This whole thing is getting built out right now. We now have a health and wellness hall at the Bridge Expo. We have new doctors coming in. It's hard to keep up with all the changes, and our media profile and our media kits are going out. So I just want you guys to say, I greatly appreciate from the bottom of my heart, you guys all coming out to the Bridge Expo. Thank you guys for all the hard work you guys are doing. Feel free to share this video out for people that are trying to fight addiction right now. Let them know about MetaLeaf and that there is a way that we can get you from point A to point B and get you off of some of these hard substances. And William, it's been an absolute pleasure, my brother, having you on Team Light Interviews.
Hey, I want to say 2 things to everybody. The first thing is thank you for listening. The second one is if somebody is in between a 3D and a 5D frequency, okay, bring them to the show, because there is a different world out there that nobody talks about, and the only people that talk about it is us. And if the only people that talk about it is us, it's because a lot of people think we're crazy. But it's just a different world. We're in the 5D world, right? So we can't bridge that gap between 3D and 5D. So we all hang out together. But the way that I became into this is I was in 4D, higher 4D, and I was looking for answers for my family, which I found at TeamLight, which I found at Russell's venue. Okay. So if you have somebody that is stagnant in 3D, is ready to go, bring them with, man. It's a couple $100.
We called it the Bridge for a reason, my brother. Yeah. Bring him to the Bridge. Bridge the 3D to 5D. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, so much more to come. All right. Till next time.
All right.
Peace.
Later.
Hasta la vista, baby
Bringers
Jesus.
of the dawn allow these energies to merge, to merge, to merge, to merge, to merge, to merge. Allow these energies to merge so that the dawn or the light is awakened within them. Awakened within. Humanity creates the sacred bridge between earth and